So we started something, did a thing.
We made a mess. We're one step closer to fixing our problems.
Oop, shit.
So as we mentioned earlier, this roof was really flat that they put on. They didn't really do a great job at making sure there was an accurate pitch, and most of that was because they tucked the roof up under the soffit of the existing roof instead of cutting into the existing roof as one should. But because of that, they also used a rolled roofing. Not necessarily a bad choice because it's relatively flat, but it wasn't installed really well and eventually buckled over time. We knew of two locations of leaks. One was that old chimney stack that was from that wood burning fire pit thing. The other was just kind of a random location in the roof. The plywood had gotten soft, the rolled roofing buckled and had some issues, and we were aware of that. The other problem with the flat roof is during our heavy winters like 2021, we did have several massive tree branches fall on top of the roof. It did create some damage, and then that was followed by 2 hailstorms, I think, which created even more damage. And so we knew what we were getting into was going to be problematic in that there was going to be further damage from just the initial leaks that we knew about. And unfortunately, when we started to uncover a lot of the ceiling inside, we did start to realize that there were more problems that were definitely there longer than we expected them to be, causing additional damage, rotting of the wood, and so we ended up having to replace a lot more framing than we originally anticipated.
We have a wall.
And, most importantly, it is square. Look for that board if they're going. Like, what did they do? Just throw this board down on the ground, drill into the ground, and went, well, that's where the wall's gonna be.
Little update on where we are at. It's still a disaster down here, but we have gotten the wall dividing the TV room from the new bathroom built, sheetrocked, mudded. We've started this wall and we'll be sheetrocking that today. And the roof, we actually bought shingles and stuff. We have to redo the roof before we can insulate and do all this. Then over here, we have the door framed in and ready to go for the new bathroom. All the lights off over here, but after we are done putting the new roof on, we'll start tear out of this, and it's coming along. Doing something different today. Hey, we are roofers. So some things should be hired out to professionals, and roofing's definitely one of those things, but we do have some experience. I redid my grandfather's roof when I was 19.
I redid my grandparents when I was a teenager.
So almost 2 decades of experience.
What could go wrong? One of the first things that you do want to take care of prior to putting down your initial membrane is patching any holes or damaged areas. In our case, we had an old kind of flute chimney from an old like wood stove, wood burner situation that we took out years ago, but the area around it was damaged. So we did cut that out. We used a 3/4 inch subflooring plywood to replace that piece. We used things like caulk and some tar, and then we did a double layer of the protective membrane underneath to make sure there was no additional leaks in the future.
So far, so good. You first have a self-adhesive roll that goes down, and then the asphalt roll that goes on top of it.
First roll is down. This is the membrane, protective membrane, but it's a self-adhesive. You cut 45s at the corners to let the next layer lay down flat to the existing roof. You do the same there so it doesn't create a water channel, which is what happened with the old roof, which is why you see the buckling. So we'll cut those, lay them flat, start the next roll. But it's also got all these pre-measurements so you know how much to overlap. This is really easy. I'm not gonna do another one. In this clip, we can see how we're removing the plastic from the self-adhesive part of the asphalt roll. As you pull out the plastic from underneath to reveal the self-adhesive material, you want to pull at a 45-degree angle to ensure that you don't break or rip the plastic, but it also makes it easier to keep your membrane at a smooth, level surface to keep it nice and flat during install.
That's the goal. You didn't always do it right.
We're gonna rotate this now. Attention. It doesn't cost you anything. It's really expensive. Like a rich car. Like a luxury one.
This roofing stuff, it's heavy.
900 pounds each.
You know a roofer? Don't fight with them, because they're strong. Jesus. This stuff's heavy.
When you're working on the roof, you really always want to have at least one person on the ground.
Or have some on speed dial for quick access. Our ladder fell. So we're stuck on the roof. But we have a good like 45 minutes worth of work, so you don't have to brush.
New rolled roofing installed.
We did it. We did it, Jake. We did it.
Today is another sheetrock day. Putting up the sheetrock on the ceiling of the TV room. Now we got a mud. I hate sheetrock. I am so full of irrational rage from sheetrock. Well, I don't like it.
So why do you hate sheetrock so much?
I hate sheetrock because it gets everywhere. You can't escape it. It feels like it goes on forever. There's no end in sight. And especially in the TV room, there were no windows for any of it to escape out, and it just sat in a more dense and dense cloud, getting on everything, consuming every pore and every crevice of my body, and I hate sheetrock. I have said for years, over and over again, this is the last time I will ever do sheetrock. And somehow, you keep having me do sheetrock, and I hate it.
What mask thing do I have on?
So one of the goals of the TV room is to try to create some sort of like faux sunken living room feel. With that, we created this wall that acts as the back of our couch, and then created this integrated light system. The intent of the light is to give a nice loungy, glowy vibe along the outside, just to sort of give that real like nestled in feel. So while building this wall to help create the sunken living room feel, we included this channel that we installed the Hue light strip into. It's all painted white on the inside to help reflect the light, and the Hue light strip is pointed towards the back so that all the light reflects back to you instead of having any hot points of the light at any point. We also routed out the surface of this so that the acrylic could lay down in. We cut down strips of acrylic, and to help make sure it was extra opaque, we use an opaque spray paint to give it just a little bit more tint. And then that slides into the routed out edge, giving us the integrated light. Strips are in the channel. And some of the finer details, we used a high gloss paint so that the light would reflect better and help fill the room when the big light's not on.
All right, so downstairs room is in cleanup. Got the wall in. I painted it the same kind of brown color there, but it looks orange here for some reason. And then in here's the TV room. custom built couch is going to go here, down to there, and then come this way so that you can walk in from that. And then outside, I've started this little pergola thing. Got to finish the wall, the stoop, and then the step will come out to that second pole. And then we've got to finish demo inside. At this point in the project that I got really, really sick.
Like, I've never seen him this sick.
So thanks for watching and following along.
If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell icon to be notified each time we have a new video coming up. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok where we post additional content. Also, check out our blog. It's at rodneyandjake.com with additional content.